Have you ever wrapped up a day at work, looked at the clock and thought, what did I even do today? I know I do. Sometimes I'm on calls all day, the inbox is as messy as it was this morning, if not worse. I remember making hundreds and one decisions, answering questions and joining tons of meetings, but still nothing feels done. No deliverable, no win, or that satisfying tick on the to-do list. And the worst part is this isn't rare, it can be almost every day. Welcome to Manager's Dilemma. Constantly busy, rarely productive, at least not in the way that we used to. I know from talking to other managers that most feel that toxic guilt, but they rarely admit to it, having feeling like they worked very hard, but there isn't anything they can show for it. Today, we're going to talk about that feeling, why it hits so hard, why it's normal, how to rewire your brain to recognize real progress, even when there's nothing to show. Because the truth is, if you're doing your job well, you won't have much to show for it. Let's get into it. We need to start with the basic fact and the invisible shift from the maker to the manager. Before you were a manager, your work is tangible. I know that I had tasks with deadlines and deliverables. Just like you, I designed the thing, wrote the report, closed the deal, sent an email, and at the end of the day, there was proof I was productive. But once you step into management, now that changes. You're no longer the person building the rocket, you're the one clearing the runway so others can launch. And that's a massive shift. Here's the trap that most new managers fall into. You continue to prove your worth through your actions and by how many things you personally achieved in the day. You squeeze in your own projects between meetings, you try to own everything, you try to respond instantly, stay in the loop, be the hero. And eventually it breaks. Because doing and managing are completely different muscles. And measuring one by the other, well, this will mess you up. So let's discuss why the I did nothing statement hurts so much. I think because it hits on the psychological level. We've been trained to associate value with output. It's baked into us from school, from entry-level jobs, from every performance review we've ever had. So when you get to 6 in the evening and there's no task checked off, your brain doesn't just go, weird day. It goes, I wasted time. I wasn't productive. I didn't do enough. And that opens the door to guilt, stress, doubt, even if, and that's the kicker, your team is thriving because of what you did behind the scenes. Well, perhaps you coached someone through a tough conversation. Maybe you de-escalated a conflict before it exploded or made a call that unblocked the project. None of it is visible, but all of it matters because you're doing leverage work now. And that kind of work doesn't come with dopamine. I actually think it can be quite tedious. So what is the job really? Let's strip it down. As a manager, your job is to create the conditions where your team can do their best work consistently. Now that means setting some clear directions. It can mean removing obstacles, creating safety and trust. It means giving feedback and making calls. None of that shows in a to-do list. But when you do it well, your team performs better, faster and smarter, and definitely with less drama. You're a multiplier now. You will hear me using that phrase a lot, and it means unlocking the potential in others. But the problem here is multipliers don't get credit from to-do lists. They only see results over time. That time lag, well, that's where the doubt creeps in. So let's fix it. Here's the reframe that saved my sanity. My output is no longer the work itself. My output is the performance of my team. It sounds obvious. You'd be shocked how many smart managers forget this, especially when things get busy or political. So repeat it to yourself. My value is in how many emails I send. It's how much clarity I created. It's how many people I unblocked. It's how calm I stayed when things went sideways. It's also how confident my team felt walking into this week. This is the manager's scoreboard. It's invisible. It is slow and it's absolutely real. Let's get practical. First up, start keeping an impact log. It's stupid simple. The end of each day, jot down 3 to 5 things you influenced, improved or helped happen. Not what you did, what you enabled. It might be things like, well, I helped Sarah prep for the client call. I clarified roadmap priorities in the meeting. I aligned with marketing on the launch strategy. I gave critical feedback that landed well. And that's it. Not only does this help you track your real contribution, it also makes performance reviews, all the check-ins and self-assessments a lot easier in the future. This is the big bit. If your to-do list still looks like it did before you became a manager, it's time for an upgrade. Traditional task lists don't reflect management work, so you constantly feel behind, even when you're doing exactly what your team needs. Here's the switch. Add people-focused tasks like coach Alex through feedback or check in with the product or resolve roadmap confusion. And then add decision-based tasks. Make call on hiring versus contractor. Choose timeline for the Q3 KPIs. Add intangible wins. Rebuild trust with engineering lead. unblock design team. When you see those items and tick them off, your brain starts to understand, well, this is the real work. This counts because it does. And now I want you to treat your calendar as a journal because it already tracks your time. You can use it to track your impact as well. Once a week, go back through your calendar, look at every meeting and ask, what did I enable here? And then tag it: high leverage, coaching moment, alignment gained, and finally, waste of time. Over time, you'll see patterns. You'll know which meetings deserve your time and which ones are just clutter. And the bonus tip here is color code your calendar based on the type of contribution you're making, not the type of meeting. Suddenly, your schedule stops looking like a random mess of blocks and starts looking like a system that is designed for impact. With all of it said and done, you'll still have empty days, and that's okay. Let's be real. There will be days where you feel like you floated through space. Back-to-back meetings, 1,000 pings. You end the day exhausted and still unsure what actually moved forward. That's not failure. That's the cost of context switching and people work. The trick isn't to avoid those days. It is not to judge yourself for them. Zoom out, look at the week, the month, the quarter, ask, is the team moving forward? If yes, well, you're doing your job. If no, well, then's the time to reflect and recalibrate. But don't let one foggy Tuesday make you question your entire leadership skill. I'll give you a real example. Last month, I had one of those weeks. No deliverables, no wits. I barely opened Outlook, just back-to-back conversations, nothing tangible that I would say, yes, I did that. And by Friday, I felt completely used, like I was floating. That Friday afternoon, a person from my team called me thanking for my help. Honestly, I can't remember how I helped, but clearly it mattered. It changed something for them, and that's the game now. That is the real scoreboard. If you only remember one thing, here's what I want you to take away from this. Just because you didn't produce something today doesn't mean you didn't do something valuable. Your job now is to lead, to coach, to align, to make the invisible things. And those things are trust, clarity, momentum, and show up for your team. That is work, that's the leverage, that's the leadership. And the sooner you believe that, the better it is for you. And that feeling of I haven't done anything today will wash away. Here's your challenge for this week. Start tracking the real stuff. Start writing your impact, not just your tasks. And when the guilt creeps in, just pause and ask, did my team move forward today? The answer is yes. You did your job, even if no one saw it. If you found this helpful, or if you've ever ended your day thinking, I didn't do anything, drop a comment. I read everyone, and I promise you're not alone. I'll see you in the next one.